community has been growing since 2012. It was started by Yasas Hewage and a few other cyclists. I joined in 2013, and as a female cyclist, a road cyclist, cycling in Sri Lanka is really difficult. When you're riding alone, you get bothered a lot, basically. So riding with a group gives me security, and it gives me the camaraderie of riding with guys who think like I do. We just want to ride. You know, we want to enjoy the experience of riding, the freedom of the road, and the physical experience of, you know, just getting your heart rate really high and having a good time as we go. Since I joined, you know, there are a few more female cyclists now. They're not here today, unfortunately. So I hope I speak for them when I say that Room has really, you know, it's improved my riding, because, you know, as with any sport, when you do it with other people, you improve, especially when you do it with other people who are as keen and avid cyclists as these guys are. And I hope that with us being on the road so often, that drivers, you know, see us as, you know, having rights to the road, as much rights as they do. And that's an important thing for the Sri Lankan for community in general. You know, cyclists need more recognition. They need to be seen as fellow road users who have the same rights to the road as the motorist. And I think that's one of the main things that Room is about, is raising the profile of cycling and cyclists in Sri Lanka in general, and getting more people on the road, creating the awareness that you know, it's good for you to do physically, and the more often you do it, the better. That it is safe, and it is getting safer as long as you follow the rules of the road. And yeah, these guys, we have a lot of fun. We do some really long rides every few weeks. And we extend ourselves, we stretch ourselves to do as much as we can, but at the same time we manage our fitness. We try and support each other. We get some great support from the rest of our community, our immediate community, like people like Ajani Hewage, who often drives the backup for us, who makes all the goodies that she's going to be selling at Spinner. So, you know, it's not just us. It's not just us. It's us, and it's a growing community. And I hope it keeps on growing. In the short time that I've been with the group, we have doubled and trebled. And yeah, I just hope it continues.
So this is the Bike Fit Lab. Probably the first of its kind in this part of the world, surely in Sri Lanka. It's also my office. This is where we spend most of the time figuring out how we can improve cycling performance. And also the tools that you see are the tools that I use to play around with my bike for the last number of years. These are specialized tools for cycling. The company that makes these tools have been doing it for 60 years. They are called Park Tools from USA. So these tools can take a bike from zero and build it any way you want. And it's great to have all the equipment with us. So whenever you want to do anything with your bike, you're fully equipped, and it's a great place to have your office with all these tools. So what you see here is a road bike. Popularly, it's also known as a racing bike, and it's built for speed. And some of you might know there are other types of bikes. There are mountain bikes which are built for off-roading. There are triathlon bikes which are built purely for short distance speeds. And as children, we all ride our own little bicycle, which is generally a mountain bike. And of course, the common man you see on the road goes around in what we call a push bike. So there are bikes and bikes and bikes, but when you start studying more about it, you understand bikes also can be a little complicated. If you look at a bike from top to bottom, a bike has an engine, and that engine is what converts the power a human puts in, and sometimes creates speeds of 50, 60, 70 kilometers an hour in a race. So there's so much to learn about a simple subject like cycling, and that's what I've done for the last number of years since I stumbled upon my passion of cycling and it became a hobby. So what I'm going to tell you now is about the Bike Fit Lab, the Retul Bike Fit Lab we have. We just set it up in Sri Lanka for the first time, and it's probably the first in the region. What it does is it helps people who are really serious about their cycling for performance, could be as a hobby, but doing it really extensively, to get the best out of their cycling experience, to really enjoy it. Now, the simple principle is, you just can't go out there and buy a bike and hope that bike is going to give you that experience. Because everyone's body is different to another. You're built differently. Your heights might be the same sometimes, but your upper body length might be different. Your arm length might be different. Your leg length might be different. Some of us have leg length differences in the same body. So when you start riding, you realize these are the things that makes you not enjoy and get the maximum out of a bike. So what the Retul Bike Lab does is it uses technology, partnering with Retul USA, which is the best in the world for providing that type of technology, and helps you tailor a bike to fit your body geometry. So it's, in other words, in simple words, it's like tailoring a suit or a cloth or a dress for you, rather than force fitting yourself on a bike. So now how do you do it? You can use your own vision and try to see what might be the right height for you, the frame for you, etc. Or you can use technology, and today, now onwards at Spinner, you're going to have that technology, which is called the 3D motion analysis technology, to get a proper fit on your bike. So in simple form, when a rider comes and gets in touch with us, we are going to physically assess the rider to see the physical side of it, their goals, how long are they going to ride, what type of terrain. And after that understanding, we go through a rigorous testing of the exact fit that's going to suit that person. Starting off, what we do is we understand the bike geometry, because bikes come in various sizes, forms, natures. So we do use some technology, which is called it's a sensor. It's called the Zin tool, and within a couple of minutes we can touch the bike at different points. It's a patented technology from Retul, and it will draw an exact picture of what your bike is right now, from height to frame size to the wheelbase. All that info is already available. So there onwards, whatever changes we do to your bike, we already have your original position, so if we have to, we can go back to that. And the second part is, everything we do with the bike is captured through this camera, the sensors, and that transmits all that information to the computer. And there's a specific software that helps to make those decisions based on the data that you get. So just like on an ECG, what we do is we put the rider on the bike. Basically, the rider will get in the riding position, and they will basically start cycling, just like you normally cycle. So that's the difference. That's the difference in a motion analysis, because you are in motion and we are analyzing how your body moves while you are actually riding. When you're on a very slow ride, you might be very comfortable. But suddenly when you start pushing, your body starts moving left to the right, your knees start moving out. So that info you don't know unless somebody watches you. What we do is we use, just like a ECG, we used it in the key parts of your anatomy, basically your wrist, your elbow, your shoulder, right up to the bone structure. And we get a picture of both sides of your body and how it moves. And that data is going to be again transmitted to the camera, right to the computer, and we work with that data. So that's at the heart of it. So with that, there are specified angles. If you are a mountain biker, if you are a road rider, if you want to ride races and compete, we work on the angles of your body, because now we have the information, and that's when we start either increasing your seat height, putting it forward, putting it backwards, figuring out what's the length of this crank should be, figuring out what the reach should be. So example, if this part is too short, you'll be too cramped up on the bike, and that's going to give you back pain as you go. At the same time, if this part was too long, you just bought the bike, you didn't know any of these things, and you come and you start riding, your whole body is like this, within 5 kilometers, couple of days, you're going to start feeling it. So all that changes will be done very scientifically based on the data, and you can't just do it, you have to get certified, so that it's like a consultancy. It takes a couple of hours. So example, in my case, I've got myself certified in Singapore with Retune, and your learning is continuous. More you do, more you get better at it. And of course, you have to love what you do, you have to love the bikes, you have to know the bikes, you should ride it, and just like any other skill, and you get better at it. So this is something new to Sri Lanka. It definitely should get a better appreciation of the potential of cycling, as well as improve the competitive side of Sri Lanka, which I think is, there's so much more to go. Some of the young riders are very hard working, but they don't have the science, they don't have the technology. So that's what the lab is going to do. Support riders who love their cycling through performance improvement and better comfort, and of course, injury-free cycle ride.
This is a breakfast place inspired by cycling. Cyclists who are endurance cyclists, as well as people who loves to jog, go for walks, just drop by here. They just love the atmosphere as well as the food. So there are pre-workout food as well as post-workout food, and also the juices, fresh juices. It goes with everybody, and yeah, it's a fun place to be.